Welcome back, everyone, to the next episode in this series here. Obviously, we are in the next round of the playoffs playing the Toronto Raptors. So in this one, before we get started with any actual gameplay, I wanted to go ahead and review the box scores from the actual regular season. We did lose the season series to the Toronto Raptors, and unfortunately, we actually got swept. They went 4-0 on us. We lost every single game. Victor Oladipo and Miles Turner just did not have great performances against the Toronto Raptors, and on the other hand, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan were really able to put their abilities and talents on full display, and they were able to squeak out with 4 wins, even beating us at home. So it's safe to say that I am pretty concerned about this series here. If I'm honest, I just don't see us winning. I don't think we have the team yet to quite make it to the Eastern Conference Finals or win the championship. Disregarding all of the other aspects and information that we already know, we are going to try to do our best up against the Toronto Raptors, maybe steal a game, especially at Bankers Life. And I think if we can get 1 or 2 games in this series, I'm honestly going to be pretty shocked. I'm pretty happy. The Toronto Raptors definitely are much more stiff competition than the Milwaukee Bucks. DeMar DeRozan is able to really shoot and score from anywhere. His athleticism is awesome. Like I was just saying about his new shooting ability, up to the point that he is right now in the league, he hasn't been able to shoot threes. All of his baskets have been either within the arc or his back to the basket. A lot of cutting plays. Very athletic guy, can finish around the rim with both hands, and able to play over the top of the defense. So DeMar DeRozan is always dangerous. Make sure you keep an eye out for him. We did just go down 2-0, so that's unfortunate. I'm getting a little bit nervous. I do not want to get swept in the playoffs as well. Let's take a moment really fast to kind of just go over these stats here. You see Miles Turner leading the team in scoring. Unfortunately, it's not Victor Oladipo, and I think that's kind of why we're falling up a little bit short. If we take a look at DeMar DeRozan, wow. He scored 34 points over these first 2 games. It's honestly ridiculous. Kyle Lowry has been a great complimentary addition to him. And Jonas Valanciunas and Serge Ibaka have been playing pretty well. And surprisingly, and what a lot of people were expecting from OG Anunoby, is that he's actually getting an offensive game. And actually, scoring the ball and being a great tertiary scorer to this team. You guys just saw there, we did switch up the coaching game plan. I figured maybe, since Miles Turner is scoring the most points, if we can try to feed the post and get to him, we would be able to maybe, have a different result. Unfortunately, we do not. They are up on us 3-0 going into a game at Bankers Life, which makes me feel a little bit better. Hopefully we can get, some steam. We can get some momentum going on our side. And, hopefully we can try to get a victory here at home. So unfortunately, in that game 3, when we had Miles Turner as the primary scorer, he only put up 15. He went 1 of 4 from shooting outside, which is a little upsetting. Our backs are against the wall going into a game at home. Kyle Lowry, he has been able to be a great playmaker, and he's really putting in work on us, especially coming into this game 4. You guys will kind of see how he presents his game and how we actually fare against the Toronto Raptors, who, if they beat us, I honestly see them getting out of the East. I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the beginning of the clip a little bit, Miami actually beat Cleveland. So it comes full circle with Pat Riley again and the supporting cast there in Miami with Hassan Whiteside and Goran Dragic. They were actually able to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is a little bit insane and shocking to say the least. But honestly, I do not see the Cavaliers getting out of the East in real life. If they run up against, say, the Toronto Raptors like we're playing, I do not see them, winning 4 games in a series like that. If they go up against, the Washington Wizards, maybe I can see that one just because the Wizards aren't quite as complete as the Raptors are. But if they go up against the Boston Celtics, again, I see the Cleveland Cavaliers just not being able to, finally put that dagger in the back of the Celtics and making it through. I just don't see it. So do not be surprised. And, I told you so if the Cavaliers don't make it. So we'll kind of disregard that, and we'll get right into this gameplay. Jonas Valanciunas wins the tip. And, he has been a vital player in these series here. You guys will see we have not been able to rebound the ball like we wanted to. And that has been one of our biggest detriments, is our ability to grab those boards. They get a lot of putbacks, especially with Serge Ibaka, who was a great player in Oklahoma City. I was very shocked when he got traded initially to the Magic, and then I was shocked again when he was traded to the Toronto Raptors, just because when he was in his prime, and he might have gotten to his prime too quickly. I mean, he was blocking like 3.5 shots a game, and he looked like the greatest defender that we'd ever seen in the past, 10 years in the NBA. Him, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. I cannot believe they didn't knock off the Miami Heat, and they were not able to defeat the Spurs again in the coming years. But either way, he is playing for Toronto now, and he has been getting in our ass, him and Jonas Valanciunas together. So that's something we're going to have to try to get around. It was just too late to try to bring in anyone in the season. As far as getting another rebounder, we might look to aim for one in the draft. Initially, I really thought that we needed a guard, but the way that we've been playing, someone down low who can get boards and protect the rim might be a way to go. Al Jefferson is going to be out of an option this year, so we'll see if we end up re-upping him. Either way, we will find out. I've been feeling, really, I shouldn't say feeling. I've been thinking about the next step, honestly. I mean, I know we shouldn't look forward, and maybe that's why we've been dropping these games, because we're looking forward into the future and what we might do to increase this team's value and worth, and hopefully some wins. Is another guy we're going to obviously have to build through the draft. We do not have the ability to build through free agency. We're not a very attractive destination, and we have a lot of money that's going to be tied up with Victor Oladipo, Miles Turner, and Domantas Sabonis going into the future. And we'll dive into that and figure out a solution here in the coming episodes. Unfortunately for this one, guys, you do see we are going to be swept at home 114-96, and OG Anunoby with 21 points, so he really stepped up his game as being a tertiary scorer for this squad. We go out on a loss, but we go out with the last shot being made by Miles Turner. So it's a little bit of a bittersweet point up to this episode so far. We beat the Bucks in a awesome shocking game-ending slam dunk over Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is obviously their star player. So it gave me a lot of confidence, a lot of optimism going into the future. Unfortunately for this series, we just were not able to defeat DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, and the supporting cast. Now we're going to have to just think about making some great moves in the off-season and as far as the draft and free agency goes. So stick around. The next episode obviously will entail all of that stuff. So if you guys are interested, make sure that you come back and check that one out. Hopefully I can get that one up in the next week. UFC 3 actually just dropped today, so I'm going to be playing a lot of that. We'll be putting up a little bit of that content on the channel here. So if you guys like that stuff as well, make sure to tune in. You see the Indiana Pacers have been eliminated. We're going to go back to the playoff bracket and go ahead and finish out this season. You see that the 76ers end up playing the Toronto Raptors. And in the West, we have the Houston Rockets going up against the Golden State Warriors in a series that possibly could happen in real life. So we'll simulate a little bit of that, and we'll catch up. So you guys see the Toronto Raptors were swept by Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and the rest of the Philadelphia 76ers, which, I don't know how realistic this is, guys. James Harden, they end up winning the championship, which is realistic. Catch us in the next episode. See you then.